terms which resemble each other, allergy, energy, but the meanings are quite opposite to each other. So we are going to outline about some details about these two terms. Allergy is exaggerated immune response, abnormal, unwanted immune response, and ferocious at times. Ferocious, it can damage the tissue, it can result in a number of diseases also. By contrast, energy, it is diminished immune response. The T lymphocytes, the T cell which lie at heart of all immune responses, for example, T helper cells, they becomes unresponsive to antigenic stimuli, antigenic stimulation. So what are the first allergy को हम consider करते हैं. Allergy, the exaggerated immune response, the abnormal heightened immune response, it can affect various ways. It can affect humoral immune response. It can affect cell-mediated immune response. So, humoral immune response, there are various types of allergy, or we can call it hypersensitivity. Type 1 hypersensitivity में humoral effect होता है. Type 4 में cell-mediated effect होता है. So we are going to see type 1 hypersensitivity, where abnormal, exaggerated humoral immune response, which is mediated by immunoglobulins. And the immunoglobulin affected in this type 1 hypersensitivity is IgE. It is also called anaphylaxis. I repeat, immunoglobulin mediated, and the principal actor here would be IgE. Let us see how does that happen. Bee sting hua. So the bee venom, madhumakhi, so the bee venom, it will enter the body where it interacts with the bee cells. बी सेल्स के ऊपर कुछ रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं जिनके ऊपर it will interact. So the allergen will come and bind to the B cell receptor. So that induces certain changes in the B cell and converts into the plasma cell. Plasma cells which are short-lived, but they are very active in secreting immunoglobulins. तो प्लाज्मा सेल इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन्स को सिक्रीट करेंगे, वाई शेप्ड इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन, IgE also. IgE is going to mediate the dangerous reactions we are going to see in a minute. But before that, IgE network by cross-linking we are going to see, and how they are going to damage, we are going to see in a few minutes. But one thing I must say, that Ig by itself is not damaging. Its levels are very low. They are also called reagenic antibodies. They are important for elimination of or for combating helminthes infestation. They are also important in the inflammatory reactions. But the heightened immune response mediated by IgE is seen in certain atopic individuals. Atopy is a general tendency to develop allergic reaction, probably genetics. So the type 1 we are discussing now, also called anaphylaxis in the atopic individuals. So we are returning to this slide, IgE formation ho gayi. IgE will interact with the mast cell. Mast cells are sedentary cousins of basophils. They are located in the tissues, whereas basophils are circulating forms. Okay. IgE through their Fc portion, You people all know that every immunoglobulin has got FAB portion जो कि एंटीजन से एक्ट करता है, FC portion. This FC portion interacts with the receptor on the mast cell or basophil, and then there follows a process called degranulation. The granules which are present within these cells, they burst open and certain vasoactive substances are released. The vasoactive substances from basophil and mast cells, granules, degranulation, the vasoactive substances are histamine, most importantly, leukotrienes, heparin. Histamine, as you all know, it is derived by decarboxylation of an amino acid called histidine. And this is capable of causing vasodilatation, mucus secretion, smooth muscle contraction, rise in vascular permeability. Please note, all these are very useful for combating any infection, isn't it? इससे क्या होगा? Vasodilatation हो गया. The soldiers of our body, neutrophil, natural killer, other leukocytes, they will be entered at the site of where infestation is there. So it is very useful. Smooth muscle contraction, mucus secretion, they are useful tools for combating the invading organism. लेकिन ओवर रिएक्शन होने से क्या होगा? They become dangerous, particularly bronchial spasm that can lead to death also. And not only this, histamine इसका effect leukotriene से up to 1000-fold increase हो जाता है. And synergistic effect is played by heparin also. Heparin, the endogenous anticoagulant. Now, coagulation is a very important protective phenomenon. ये नहीं होगा तो उससे डैमेज बढ़ जाएगी. तो type 1 reaction we have seen. Type 1 reaction by vasoactive substances released from basophils and their sedentary cousins, mast cells. So that is allergy. I have tried to exemplify with one subtype. You can see other subtypes also. Type 4 cell mediated immunity से होता है, type 2, type 3 immune complex mediated, and the direct cytotoxic, etc. So you can see that. But at the moment, our topic of discussion is allergy versus energy. Allergy means high, energy means low immune response. Why does that happen? Because of lack of co-stimulatory signal. So what is this co-stimulatory signal? Let us outline ये एलर्जन एंटर किया, ये एंटीबॉडी, सॉरी, ये एंटीजन बॉडी में एंटर किया. The first line of defense will be macrophage or dendritic cell. They will endocytose the invading organism and break it down into smaller pieces. Break it down into smaller pieces. Just a minute. Yeah. इसको एंडोसाइटोज किया, छोटे छोटे इसके फ्रेगमेंट्स बना दिए by the lysosomal enzyme. Now these fragments, with the help of a glycoprotein present on cell surface, MHC, it presents an antigenic fragment. Now this MHC, also called major histocompatibility complex, these are certain proteins which are intensely pleomorphic. ये short arm of chromosome 6 से encode होते हैं, and they vary from individual to individual. Intensely polymorphic they are. But at the moment we are considering their role, they present antigenic fragment within a groove and this MHC antigen complex, this is recognized by a receptor called TCR, T cell receptor. Of course, it is present on surface of the T cell. We are considering the T helper cell. So now you see a bridge has been formed. MHC antigenic fragment called epitope TCR. This provides the stimulatory signal for activation of T helper cell. We are going to see energy in a few minutes. After that क्या होगा? ये T helper cell का proliferation होगा और activation होगा. The T helper cell, it will proliferate and it will activate. It will get activated. But this stimulatory signal is not enough to activate the T cell. Certain co-stimulatory signals are also required, which we are going to see now. On the surface of macrophage is presented a CD protein. CD stands for cluster of differentiation. And T helper cell के surface पर भी एक CD protein express होता है. This is called CD28. This is called B7 group of CD protein. तो इन दोनों का interaction होना, this provides the co-stimulatory signal. If the co-stimulatory signal is missing, then the full activation of T helper cell will not take place. This is evidenced by the fact, अगर आप monoclonal antibodies or antibodies against B7 अगर रेज करो तो B7 ब्लॉक हो जाएगा and you will find that activation will not take place. This is called energy, lack of co-stimulatory signal. तो अभी तो हमने immunoglobulin को किया, but the co-stimulatory signal can be blocked in a number of ways also. Some of them genetic also, isn't it? Some of them are genetic and various other causes. We are not going to discuss at the moment. तो ये co-stimulatory signal sluggish हो या lack हो, T helper cell का proliferation नहीं होगा, T helper cell का activation नहीं होगा, और activated पहले proliferate होते हैं, and the activated T helper cell, they secrete a number of cytokines. Cytokines are the chemicals, they are soluble mediators of immune response. जैसे interleukin 2 secrete होता है. One of the cytokines secreted is interleukin 2. It stimulates cell-mediated immunity. Interleukin 4 and 5 secrete होता है from the activated T helper cell, which stimulates the humoral immune response. Interferon gamma secrete होता है, which stimulates the macrophages. तो अगर co-stimulatory signal missing है, तो फिर क्या होगा? The full stimulation, I'm going to in a rough figure, ये T helper cell है, ये macrophage है, तो अगर co-stimulatory signal नहीं है, the activation of this will not take place and it will not be able to secrete interleukin 2, 4, 5, interferon gamma. And as we have seen, various wings of immune response will be adversely affected. So T cells become unresponsive to antigenic stimulation due to lack of the co-stimulatory signal B7, CD28. They do not proliferate and secrete cytokines in response to antigenic stimulation. Beneficial effect भी होते हैं. Beneficial effect energy के, they check auto reactivity. I leave it to you. Please find out yourself. So some advanced learning concepts. I think we have completed the main portion of the lecture. Energy क्या है, allergy क्या है? Allergy heightened, energy lowered. Lowered because of cluster of differentiation, co-stimulatory signal is lacking. हमने एलर्जी को देखा with the help of bee sting, humoral immune response. Those who are interested can read more about that. Cytokines, the soluble mediator, this is the molecular weight. They have got autocrine function, paracrine, autocrine, paracrine, and endocrine roles they have got. So जैसे interleukin 2, this is secreted by the T helper cell and it acts on the T helper cell itself to bring about its proliferation. So ये हो गया autocrine. It secretes interferon gamma, which acts on the adjoining macrophage. So this is paracrine and endocrines, interleukin 4 and 5. They go distantly and influence activity of the B cells. So you can read more about them, a detailed figure. I'm flashing it. You can see it yourself. Lots of other interleukins are present in the body. The cytokines. Major histocompatibility complex, intensely pleomorphic. आज हमने देखा, they have got a groove which displays the antigenic fragment. So they act as a signboard. In fact, this statement I like very much. The TCR sees antigen in background of cell. Antigens in background of cell. ये था ना antigen. This is MSC is cell, antigen is non-self. So transplant rejection में इनका role पहले देखा गया था. So you can see these details later on. So this figure in a more explicit manner, यहाँ पर आप देखिए CD28, B7 दिखाई गए हैं. तो co-stimulatory signal which is obliterated in energy, MHC class, etc. So good diagrammatic representation. So that's all. Thank you so much.